ever noticed that some of the people who attacked you, criticized you, or tried to bring you down, suddenly went quiet? They still smile in public. They still act like everything is fine. But what if the truth is very different from what they want others to see? Chosen one, today's message is not about celebrating someone's suffering. It is about understanding a powerful spiritual lesson. Sometimes the people who spend the most time attacking others are fighting battles they desperately try to hide. Allah sees what no one else can see. He knows the pain behind every fake smile, the fear behind every arrogant attitude, and the secrets hidden behind closed doors. In this video, we will uncover 6 powerful lessons that reveal why some attackers pretend they are okay, what Islam teaches about hidden struggles, and why your focus should never be on revenge, but on the destiny Allah is preparing for you. Stay until the end, because one of these lessons may completely change how you view the people who tried to hurt you. Lesson 1. Not everyone who smiles is at peace. Chosen one, there is a truth many people never learn until it is too late. A smile can hide a storm. Some of the very people who spoke against you, mocked your journey, or tried to block your progress are carrying battles that no one can see. Allah knows what is hidden and what is revealed, and while people judge by appearances, He sees every secret fear, every regret, and every sleepless night. This lesson is not about celebrating another person's hardship. It is about understanding that a person who is truly at peace rarely spends their energy trying to destroy someone else's peace. We see this in the story of Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, whose brothers allowed jealousy to grow in their hearts until it led them toward betrayal. Yet their actions revealed more about their inner condition than about him, and Allah's plan remained greater than their plot. Chosen one, stop comparing your life to someone else's appearance, because some people smile in public while suffering in private, and some act strong while feeling weak inside. Trust Allah's view, not the world's view, and remember that the same Allah who protected Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, sees everything happening in your life and knows the truth behind every hidden attack. Lesson 2. Their attack was a symptom of their own wound. Chosen one of the most powerful truths you can learn is that not every attack is really about you. Many people who try to hurt, betray, or discredit others are actually fighting battles within themselves. Your faith reminded them of their distance from Allah. Your discipline exposed their excuses, and your growth highlighted areas of their lives they refused to improve. Instead of confronting their own weaknesses, they chose to focus on yours. We see this clearly in the story of Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, when Firaun constantly opposed the truth, not because Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, was wrong, but because accepting the truth would have forced Firaun to confront his own arrogance and corruption. Chosen one, some people attack what they secretly admire, criticize what they secretly fear, and resist what they know is right because it exposes something broken inside them. This is why you must stop taking every attack personally. Their words may have been directed at you, but the real battle was happening within their own hearts. The moment you understand this, you stop carrying burdens that never belong to you, and you begin to trust that Allah sees the full picture, while others only see a small part of the story. Lesson 3. Allah does not ignore hidden injustice. Chosen one, there may have been moments when you felt forgotten, moments when you prayed through tears, stayed silent while others lied about you, and watched people who hurt you walk away as if nothing had happened. You may have wondered why Allah allowed the injustice to continue, why the truth was not revealed immediately, or why those responsible seemed untouched by the pain they caused. But this lesson is one that every chosen one must understand deeply. Allah never ignores hidden injustice. What is hidden from people is never hidden from Him. Every lie, every betrayal, every false accusation, every attempt to damage your reputation, and every tear you cried in private has been witnessed by Allah. We see this throughout the lives of the prophets. When Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, was betrayed by his own brothers and thrown into a well, it may have looked like injustice had won. When he was falsely accused and imprisoned despite his innocence, it may have appeared that the truth would never come out. But Allah was working behind the scenes the entire time. What people saw as a setback was actually preparation for elevation. The same Allah who turned a prison into a pathway to leadership for Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, is fully aware of every injustice you have faced. Chosen one, many people make the mistake of thinking that justice only exists when they can see it with their own eyes. They want immediate consequences. They want public exposure. They want visible proof that Allah has responded. But Allah's justice is not limited to what human eyes can witness. Sometimes accountability begins in the heart, long before it appears in the world. Sometimes the person who hurt you is already carrying fear, regret, confusion, or unrest that no one knows about. Sometimes Allah allows time, not because He has forgotten, but because His wisdom is greater than our understanding. The Quran reminds us that Allah is never unaware of what the wrongdoers do. This means that even when it seems like nothing is happening, Allah's knowledge surrounds every detail of the situation. Your responsibility is not to chase revenge, monitor your enemies, or become consumed by thoughts of what will happen to those who wronged you. Your responsibility is to remain faithful, patient, and focused on the path Allah has placed before you. The moment you truly trust Allah's justice, you stop carrying the weight of proving yourself to people. You stop seeking validation from those who misunderstood you. You stop exhausting yourself trying to expose every lie. Instead, you find peace, knowing that the Judge of all judges has already seen everything. Chosen one, if Allah brought you through the pain, He will also bring you through the outcome. What was done in secret is known by Allah, and what Allah knows is never lost, forgotten, or ignored. His timing is perfect, His justice is complete, and His plan for your future is greater than any injustice from your past. Lesson 4. Your healing became their greatest mirror. Chosen one, there is something that unsettles certain people more than any argument, explanation, or attempt to defend yourself. Your healing. They expected the betrayal to break you, the rejection to silence you, and the attacks to leave you stuck in pain. They thought the wounds they caused would define your future, but Allah had a different plan. What they never anticipated was that the very struggle meant to destroy you would become the reason you grew stronger, wiser, and closer to Allah. This is why your healing becomes a mirror for those who wronged you. Every time they see you moving forward, finding peace, building your life, and remaining faithful despite everything you endured, they are reminded of the choices they made and the person they tried to harm. We see a powerful example of this in the life of Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him. After being betrayed by his own brothers, thrown into a well, sold into slavery, falsely accused and imprisoned, he could have become bitter and consumed by revenge. Instead, he remained patient, trusted Allah, and continued to develop his character through every hardship. Years later, when his brothers stood before him in need, they witnessed something they never expected. The brother they tried to remove from their lives had been elevated by Allah to a position of honor and authority. His success became a mirror reflecting their past actions, and his mercy exposed the difference between his character and theirs. Chosen one, this is often how Allah works. He does not always defend you through arguments. Sometimes He defends you through transformation. The people who underestimated you expected to see a victim, but Allah turned you into a testimony of His power. The people who thought they had damaged your future are forced to watch as Allah opens doors they never imagined. Your growth becomes evidence that what Allah has planned for you cannot be stopped by human schemes. This is why you must never waste your energy trying to convince everyone of your worth. Let your healing speak. Let your character speak. Let your faith speak. Just as Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, emerged from hardship stronger than before, Allah may be using your current trials to prepare you for something greater than you can presently understand. The greatest response to betrayal is not revenge. The greatest response is becoming the person Allah intended you to be, despite everything that was done against you. When you continue walking with faith, while others expected you to fall, your life itself becomes a reminder that Allah's plan is always greater than the plans of people. Lesson 5. Compassion is a sign of strength, not weakness. Chosen one, this may be the hardest lesson of all, because it goes against what the world teaches. The world tells you that if someone hurts you, you should hurt them back. If someone betrays you, you should make them suffer. If someone spreads lies about you, you should dedicate your life to exposing them. But Islam teaches a higher path, a path that only the spiritually mature can walk. There may come a day when you discover that the person who attacked you, mocked you, envied you, or tried to destroy your reputation is now struggling with problems of their own. The person who appeared strong may be carrying unbearable burdens. The person who acted confidently may be fighting fear behind closed doors. The person who tried to make your life difficult may be facing difficulties they never expected. In that moment, Allah is not only testing them, He is testing you. The question becomes, what kind of person will you choose to be? Will you become consumed by bitterness, or will you rise above it? Chosen one, many people misunderstand compassion. They think compassion means allowing others to mistreat you. It does not. Compassion does not mean removing boundaries. It does not mean trusting people who have repeatedly proven themselves untrustworthy. It does not mean returning to situations that Allah has already rescued you from. Compassion simply means refusing to let hatred take control of your heart. It means understanding that every human being is weak before Allah, and that guidance, success, health, and peace are blessings that can never be guaranteed. One of the greatest examples of this comes from the life of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. For years, the people of Makkah insulted him, mocked him, rejected his message, and persecuted those who followed him. They threw obstacles in his path, spread lies about him, and treated him with cruelty despite his honesty and noble character. Yet when Allah eventually granted Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, victory, and he returned to Makkah with the ability to take revenge, he did something that shocked everyone. The people who feared punishment stood before him, expecting retaliation for years of mistreatment. Instead, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, chose mercy. He forgave many of those who had once been his fiercest enemies. This was not weakness. This was strength under complete control. Anyone can be kind when they have no power. True strength is remaining merciful when you finally have the power to hurt those who hurt you. Chosen one, that is the difference between worldly power and spiritual power. Worldly power seeks revenge. Spiritual power seeks Allah's pleasure. Another powerful example comes from Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him. Imagine the pain he carried after being betrayed by his own brothers. Imagine the loneliness of the well, the humiliation of slavery, the years spent in prison despite being innocent. Most people would have spent their lives waiting for revenge, yet when his brothers eventually stood before him helpless and dependent on his mercy, Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, did not humiliate them. He did not remind them of every wound they caused. He did not spend hours recounting their sins. Instead, he demonstrated forgiveness and trust in Allah's wisdom. Why? Because he understood something many people never learn. Carrying hatred often hurts the victim more than the offender. Chosen one, there are people watching your life right now. Some support you, some doubt you, and some secretly hope you fail. The way you respond to pain will reveal more about your character than the pain itself. Anyone can become bitter after betrayal. Anyone can become angry after rejection. Anyone can become cold after disappointment. But it takes a person truly connected to Allah to maintain dignity, wisdom, and compassion while carrying scars. This does not happen overnight. It requires prayer. It requires patience. It requires constantly reminding yourself that your worth comes from Allah, not from the opinions of people. Many chosen ones unknowingly remain connected to their attackers long after the attack is over. The attacker moves on, but the chosen one continues replaying conversations, reliving betrayals, and imagining revenge. In doing so, they remain emotionally chained to the very people they want to forget. Allah wants more for you than that. He wants freedom for your heart. He wants peace for your soul. He wants you focused on your purpose rather than trapped by your past. Every moment spent obsessing over those who hurt you is a moment stolen from the future Allah is preparing for you. This is why compassion is so powerful. Compassion breaks chains. Compassion allows you to move forward. Compassion prevents another person's darkness from becoming part of your identity. It allows you to acknowledge the pain without becoming defined by it. Chosen one, sometimes Allah allows you to witness the struggles of those who opposed you, not so you can celebrate their suffering, but so you can recognize His wisdom. The same Allah who protected you could have allowed you to fall. The same Allah who guided you could have left you lost. The same Allah who strengthened your heart could have left you overwhelmed by your trials. Every blessing you have is ultimately from Him. This realization creates humility. It reminds you that no matter how much someone hurt you, you are still dependent upon Allah's mercy every single day. The strongest believers understand that today's enemy could become tomorrow's believer, and today's arrogant person could become tomorrow's humble servant of Allah. Hearts can change, circumstances can change, lives can change. That is why Islam teaches us to leave final judgment to Allah. Chosen one, if Allah has elevated you beyond the attacks, beyond the lies, beyond the rejection, and beyond the betrayal, do not drag yourself back into those battles. Continue walking forward. Continue growing. Continue strengthening your relationship with Allah. Let your success be gratitude, not arrogance. Let your healing be peace, not revenge. Let your character reflect the teachings of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the patience of Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him. Because in the end, your greatest victory will never be watching your enemies suffer. Your greatest victory will be becoming the person Allah intended you to be without allowing pain, bitterness, or resentment to corrupt your heart. That is real strength. That is real healing. And that is the mark of a true chosen one. Lesson 6. Focus on your mission, not their condition. Chosen one, after everything you have endured, after the betrayal, the criticism, the false accusations, the rejection, the attacks on your character, and the countless nights when only Allah knew what you were carrying, there is one final lesson that can completely transform your life. Stop focusing on what is happening to those who hurt you and start focusing on what Allah is preparing for you. This may sound simple, but it is one of the most difficult spiritual battles a believer will ever face. Many people become trapped in an invisible prison where their minds remain attached to their attackers long after the attack has ended. They constantly wonder whether their enemies are suffering, whether justice has arrived, whether regret has finally appeared, or whether those who wronged them have been exposed. Day after day, they monitor people who are no longer part of their future. They spend precious emotional energy trying to understand individuals whom Allah has already removed from their path. Chosen one, this is exactly where many destinies become delayed. Not because Allah has stopped blessing them, but because they keep looking backward when Allah is calling them forward. Every minute spent obsessing over the condition of those who opposed you is a minute taken away from your purpose, your growth, your worship, your family, your dreams, and your relationship with Allah. It is convincing you to keep reliving the hurt long after the event has passed. That is why spiritual maturity begins when you realize that your future is more important than your history. The truth is that some of the people who attacked you may be struggling today, and some may appear to be doing well. Some may secretly regret what they did, while others may never admit their mistakes. Some may face consequences in this life, while others may not experience accountability until they stand before Allah on the Day of Judgment. But regardless of what happens to them, your assignment remains the same. Your mission has not changed. Allah did not create you to become a full-time observer of other people's lives. He created you to worship Him, serve Him, and fulfill the purpose He placed within you. Consider the life of Prophet Nuh, peace be upon him. For centuries he called his people toward Allah. He was mocked, rejected, ridiculed, and ignored. Imagine if he had spent all his time worrying about those who insulted him. Imagine if every day he became consumed by thoughts of his critics, instead of focusing on the mission Allah gave him. The ark would never have been built. The mission would never have been completed. Instead, Prophet Nuh, peace be upon him, remained focused on obedience while leaving the outcome in Allah's hands. This pattern appears throughout the lives of the prophets. Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, was thrown into the fire by people who opposed him, yet he remained focused on Allah. Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, faced the arrogance of Firaun, yet he remained focused on delivering Allah's message. Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, endured betrayal from his own brothers, yet he remained focused on his relationship with Allah rather than dedicating his life to revenge. Even Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, faced years of opposition, insults, and persecution, but his attention remained fixed on the mission Allah entrusted to him. This is one of the defining characteristics of those chosen by Allah. They refuse to become distracted by the people who misunderstand them. Chosen one, there is a reason why the windshield of a car is larger than the rearview mirror. You are supposed to spend more time looking ahead than looking behind. The rearview mirror has a purpose, but it is not meant to dominate your vision. Likewise, your past contains lessons, but it is not supposed to become your destination. Some people become experts on their enemies while remaining strangers to their own purpose. They know every detail about who hurt them, but they have no clear vision for where Allah is taking them. They know every rumor that was spread about them, but they have forgotten the dreams Allah placed inside their hearts. They know every act of betrayal, but they have neglected the opportunities waiting in front of them. Chosen one, do not make that mistake. The moment Allah begins healing your heart, He is inviting you into a new season, a season where your energy belongs to your future instead of your wounds, a season where your attention belongs to your purpose instead of your attackers, a season where your conversations become centered on growth instead of pain. One of the enemy's favorite tricks is convincing believers that closure comes from understanding everything. It does not. Sometimes closure comes from trusting Allah without having every answer. Sometimes closure comes from accepting that you may never fully understand why certain people did what they did. Sometimes closure comes from realizing that Allah knows enough, even when you do not. Chosen one, there are blessings waiting for you that cannot be reached while your heart remains anchored to yesterday. There are opportunities waiting for you that require your full attention. There are doors Allah wants to open, lessons He wants to teach, and levels of spiritual growth He wants to bring into your life. But these things require focus. They require faith. They require a willingness to release what no longer serves your journey. Think about an archer aiming at a target. If he constantly looks behind him, he will never hit what is in front of him. Likewise, if you constantly focus on the people who hurt you, you will struggle to hit the targets Allah has placed before you. The chosen one understands that every distraction carries a cost. Every unnecessary obsession drains energy that could have been invested elsewhere. This is why the strongest believers become extremely protective of their attention. They understand that attention is one of life's most valuable resources. Where your attention goes, your energy follows. Where your energy goes, your life follows. If your attention remains fixed on old enemies, your life will remain connected to old pain. But if your attention becomes fixed on Allah, purpose, growth, worship, and self-improvement, your life begins moving toward healing and fulfillment. Chosen one, the greatest victory is not discovering that your enemies are struggling. The greatest victory is reaching a point where their condition no longer controls your emotions. The greatest victory is waking up and realizing that your peace no longer depends on what happens to them. The greatest victory is becoming so focused on Allah's plan that other people's opinions lose their power over you. This is freedom. This is healing. This is spiritual growth. And this is where Allah wants to take you. So if you take only one lesson from this message, let it be this. Stop measuring your future through the lens of your past. Stop waiting for perfect justice before you move forward. Stop allowing yesterday's wounds to steal today's opportunities. Trust Allah with what happened. Trust Allah with those who hurt you. Trust Allah with every unanswered question. Then place your focus where it belongs, on your mission, your faith, your growth, and the future Allah is preparing for you. Because chosen one, the people who attacked you were only a chapter in your story. They were never the author of it. Allah is the author of your story, and He is still writing pages far greater than anything you have left behind. Conclusion. Chosen one, if this message found you today, take it as a reminder that Allah sees everything that people try to hide. He sees the attacks that were planned against you, the tears you cried when nobody was watching, the battles you fought in silence, and the strength it took for you to keep moving forward when giving up seemed easier. Throughout this journey, you have learned that not everyone who appears strong is truly at peace, that many attacks come from wounds hidden deep within the hearts of others, that Allah never ignores injustice, that your healing became a mirror reflecting the truth back to those who wronged you, that compassion is a sign of spiritual strength, and that your greatest responsibility is to remain focused on your mission rather than becoming distracted by the condition of those who opposed you. We see this pattern throughout the lives of the prophets. Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, was betrayed but elevated. Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, was opposed but protected. Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, was tested but honored. Prophet Nuh, peace be upon him, was mocked but victorious. And Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was persecuted but ultimately became a mercy to the worlds. Their stories remind us that hardship is never the end of the story for those who trust Allah. Chosen one, perhaps the greatest mistake you could make now would be allowing your attention to remain fixed on the people who tried to stop you. Allah did not preserve you so that you could spend your future staring at your past. He preserved you because your story is still unfolding. The attacks did not destroy you. The betrayal did not finish you. The lies did not define you. If anything, those experiences became part of the process Allah used to strengthen your faith, deepen your wisdom, and prepare you for what is coming next. So walk forward with confidence, not because people believe in you, but because Allah is sufficient for you. Leave justice to Allah. Leave hidden matters to Allah. Leave every unanswered question to Allah. Continue growing, continue worshipping, continue trusting, and continue becoming the person Allah created you to be. One day, you will look back and realize that what felt like a season of loss was actually a season of preparation. And when that day comes, you will understand that Allah was guiding every step, protecting every tear, and writing a story far greater than anything your enemies could have imagined. If this message spoke to your heart, type "Allah is my protector" in the comments. And remember, the people who attacked you may have influenced a chapter of your life, but only Allah writes the ending.